Hi, I wanted to talk for a minute today about wealth, and I am going to divulge some very personal things today. A lot of people don't get online and disclose their personal wealth, but it turns out that I've discovered a way to get quite wealthy, and I'm going to demonstrate this. I am, as it turns out, a millionaire. In fact, I am a multimillionaire, and I've gotten the exchange people to send me uh, my wealth here, and I'm going to show you and tell you how you can be as well. I've got C certificate of authenticity that came here from the exchange, and I've got right here. I am actually have a net worth of over 25 million. And a lot of my friends don't even know this. A lot of the people and acquaintances and family don't realize that I am a multimillionaire. I have a net worth, in all seriousness, of over 25 million. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Right here, I have uh, 1 million notes, and I've got 25 of these right here. 20. These are actual, real deal 1 million. They're not dollars though. These are Venezuelan bolivares. There's Simon, and these are from the Bank of Venezuela. And I've got 25 $1 million. They're not dollars. They're bolivares, but these are actual, real deal. No kidding. Issued by the government notes of 25 million. Now, I actually bought these on eBay for $20.99, and I got ripped off because they're actually not worth anything. They're just collector items at this point. But think of it, the government of Venezuela ended up offering 1 million unit notes. 1 million unit notes, and they're worthless. They're worthless. So it's possible what I said at the beginning is true. I am a multimillionaire. I have 25 million of Venezuelan money, but it's not worth anything. Just because you have a lot of it, it's not worth anything. Well, why? Why did they end up issuing it even? I mean, the United States doesn't issue 1 million notes, 1 million unit notes. Actually, I have also here, it turns out, I am a trillionaire. These are from Zimbabwe. These are 100 trillion dollars. These are Zimbabwe dollars. 100 trillion. You think of that. Actually, this one's a counterfeit because these are so worthless. I got $200 trillion for $5 off of eBay, and these are actually Chinese counterfeits. That money's worth so little that the Chinese are just printing these for souvenirs. And so we have to ask ourselves, there are indeed real Zimbabwe 100 trillion notes that apparently are still worth something. But there's so many counterfeits around that it's really not worth much at all. So, why is it that multiple countries end up with these huge, giant denomination notes? Well, it's because their spending gets so much and the money's not worth anything. And so, the reason I bring all this up is because we have a situation now where, at the time I'm making this, the Republicans have the executive branch of the United States, and they're trying to cut spending. And the people that don't like the Republicans are drastically screaming about how, oh, they're going to cut important things. Well, yeah, they are. They're going to end up cutting important things. We have to. What happens in a country when the money system gets so inflated and it's so depleted that it's really not worth anything? Venezuela was a upscale country. I mean, there were high society people. It had a quite good economic system. And how did it get to the point where, I mean, they had a lot of oil money, they had a lot of very first world, second world economic system, they had a good middle class. It was a great country. How did it get to the point where I can get 25 million of these things and they're not worth anything. Well, it's because they spent so much money on entitlement programs that the money system's not worth anything. It totally collapsed. And at the time I'm making this, the United States debt payment, just the interest on the debt, just hit $1 trillion. $1 trillion of just paying the interest on the money that we've borrowed. And so we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice to cut spending. And it's going to cut things that are important. I mean, everything the federal government spends money on, somebody somewhere thought it was important or they wouldn't have spent it. Somebody somewhere thought it was important. So we can't afford it. And you want to see what happens to a country when the economic system, right now, that $100 trillion is more than our defense budget. It's the single greatest thing that we have to spend money on is the interest on the debt. Our country, our economic system will collapse. You want to see what happens to the people that are already poor? You want to see what happens to the people that are just scraping by and middle class? Well, let the money system get to the point where they're printing $1 million notes that aren't worth anything. Suddenly, all your savings are gone. The barter system is the only way because the actual banana is worth more than the money to buy the banana, and so now you're bartering to grow your own vegetables, and people just aren't set up to do that now. So, unless we want our economic system to have total collapse to the point that our money's not worth anything, then what we really need is either politicians that'll stand up and say, you know, what we really need to do is raise taxes and cut entitlement programs and cut defense so that we can save our economic system. And neither party will do that. Nobody's ever going to get elected ever by saying we need to raise taxes and cut welfare and cut defense. Nobody's going to vote for that. They've proven in both parties they won't do that. Or you have to have somebody like an Elon Musk that doesn't owe anybody any political favors that can come in with a machete and cut some things. And yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But so does this. This really hurts when the money's not worth anything. So just think about that. We're not the first, ain't going to be the last to face this problem. But we'll end up like Venezuela, like Zimbabwe, like every other country that refused to balance the budget.